Okay, my name is Ambassador Elijah Onyaba, Nigeria's ambassador to the Republic of Burundi. I'm here because I'm also a board member of the African International Housing Show. The reason why everybody has gathered here today is to discuss housing. Housing is something that within the African continent we talk about it, and there is actually little of activity in terms of doing that happens within the continent, and therefore AIHS seeks to bring all the stakeholders in the within the African continent, bring all the stakeholders in housing together under one roof, from policymakers to developers to people that are interested in have one or two things to exhibit, like building materials, and even the buyers to always come in and see how they can talk to one another. There is a lot of talks in terms of rhetorics, because the theme of this event is making housing happen, moving away from rhetorics to actually doing things that will ensure that will move away from talking and begin to effectively get involved in the provision of affordable housing. And what is happening here today is a combination of all the stakeholders that are involved within the housing ecosystem, cutting across about 15 countries in the world, coming here today to be able to discuss this. As you can see, there was also an invitation that was extended to the government and the politicians. We have members of the National Assembly that came here today because they are basically the lawmakers. And there's no way that we will want certain things changed within the housing sector without having the people that are responsible for making the policies and the laws in place. So that's what we are trying to do. You can see a lot of stakeholders, from the financing angle, from those that are in the population commission, from central bank. Lots of plenary sections are going to be going on. There's also a forum for the CEOs of the real estate within the continent to also sit down and discuss housing. And I think that this is the largest gathering of anything housing within the African continent. And that's basically what we are having today. And we hope that this will bring about a lot of transformation within the continent. This will bring about a lot of changes in the way we go about housing in Nigeria. And that's one of the things I believe will ensure that government takes the role that they need to take, which is the lead role, and ensure that every stakeholder is carried along in the provision of affordable housing.
I'm very thankful to be part of this African International Housing Show, because I get to learn so much, I get to connect so much, but also learning from the big brothers. Looking at the housing issue in general, in Africa in general, it has been a turbulence throughout the whole way. And for me to be part of the solution for it, it's something that, I think that is providing so much for Burundi. So being here, it gets me an opportunity to learn, to connect, but also to open doors for the international investors to Burundi.
The document with which the president is governing the country is contained in his Renewed Hope agenda. And one of the things that is important in that document is that the president made it very clear that he wanted to bring together every stakeholder, every government establishment that is practicing some kind of housing initiative, bringing them together to ensure that we consolidate, for example, you have the Federal Mortgage Bank, you have the National Mortgage Refinance Corporation, you have the Family Homes Fund, you have the Federal Housing Authority. There's already a proposal on ground that the president is considering to bring together all of this and make it one huge, large entity and capitalize that entity to ensure that they are much more equipped finance-wise to be able to deal with the issue of housing. So I think that's a very wonderful approach to addressing housing. And we just plead with Nigerians to understand that this is what needs to be done. And we hope that as soon as the ministers are appointed, that will be done so that we can continue to begin to look at housing and take it a little bit more seriously beyond what we are doing at the moment.
About the conference, the conference has actually brought a lot of people around. Both, as you can see, we have a lot of people coming to showcase their items for both constructions. You see engineers, you see all sort of materials for building and for beautifying your homes. So the conference here has actually helped to bring in buyers to meet sellers. So it's a very, very good idea, and I hope they'll keep it up.
It's a privilege for us to participate in the African International Housing Show, because through this medium, customers can see and appreciate what we have in our offering For instance, customers will see and know that, oh, this is the only mortgage bank that is offering mortgage on a single digit interest rate.
I think so. In Nigeria, big pazar, and Nigeria need a lot of product, and Nigeria have to be follow a new technology. So why we are here for this? Nigeria have to be meet new technology platform.
We have done businesses over 200 billion naira. I can report to you that in the last 14 years, we have not lost any of our partners. You can see them, the Dangote of this world, the Lafarge, the West African Ceramics. You can see everybody here. In fact, I must say, this place is not even enough to accommodate us, and more people want to come. And developers who doesn't have the right credential are not allowed here. Before you can participate here, we ask you, can we see your building approval? Can we see your CFO? So you can see that we are making impacts. We have some of our decisions here have become a policy.